Hi guys, welcome to my channel. If you're new, please subscribe. Today's video is a makeup tutorial. If you're interested in makeup content, tutorials, reviews, demos, be sure to subscribe for future videos. And we're gonna try out some new makeup this time. We're gonna try out a new foundation. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation, the Impeccable in the shade N2. So I'm gonna be trying that out along with new primer and an under eye brightener, a mixture of high-end and drugstore, and we're gonna jump right into it. All right, so we're gonna start with skin prep. I'm wearing Keys Soul Care Firm Belief Peptide Cream and Fenty Niacinamide. So I have the serum on, moisturizer, and that is my skin prep. First, I'm gonna go with my new Maybelline Jelly Poreless Primer. I have a full review and I'm comparing the two new Maybelline primers. They are so good. So I am gonna put this all over. I'm gonna start out with one pump and I'm probably gonna end up using two. But oh my gosh, this stuff is so good. So I posted a survey and I said, do you guys like to see makeup reviews or tutorials? And tutorials won, but I like filming makeup reviews, but I want to do both. So I'm going to film more tutorials. And so this is just going to be a tutorial of me using newer products, favorite products. So my favorite concealer for blemishes is the NARS Pot Concealer. I have the shade 2.2. And so I just like to tap this, like a really thin layer on top of my blemishes. And then I like to blend the edges in, kind of like that. So that way it's not just like super, like some people put a really thick amount, but I like a thin layer and I like my edges blended. Got like a troublesome area over here. And some people also wait for this to dry because it will give you the most coverage and it won't budge underneath your foundation if you let it dry. Okay, so we have a nice base. We're gonna go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills new foundation. So this is her new foundation. It's the Impeccable Blurring Second Skin Matte Foundation. I have this shade 2N. This is probably gonna be too dark, but I'm gonna bronze my neck. So I live in Florida. I like to buy foundations that I'm gonna be able to use all year. So they're like a little bit darker than my skin tone. I self-tan, I bronze. I don't really tan in the sun that much because I don't wanna age, but most of my stuff will be slightly darker than my skin tone, and then I make it work with bronzers and self-tanners. So shade 2N. I've heard so many good things about this, so it kind of comes out thick. This is my first time ever using this. I'm gonna go in with my favorite foundation brush, which is, so one of my favorite foundation brushes is the Sigma F47. You can get this on Amazon. So actually I'm gonna use my finger and just like pat it around. Heard really great things about this. So I hope it is living up to the hype. I love Anastasia Beverly Hills, like hands down. Her foundation formula is like my favorite foundation formula. Her eyeshadow formula is like one of my top favorites. And if you watch my channel, you know how many tutorials I have using the Soft Glam palette, Renaissance. Just love her eyeshadows. And her brow products are good too, so are her lip products. Are really like everything. And when I found out this was coming out, I was like, oh, I have to try this. Especially because I have normal to oily skin, so anything that says matte sounds right up my alley. Okay, I mean, look at that. It looks really nice. It's actually not that dark, but it might oxidize. And that was only one pump and that went a really far, like really, really far. So here's my second pump. Actually, that wasn't one pump. I think that was two pumps. So I went shh, that was two pumps. All right, so I like to take my foundation and put it on my eyes. I have very veiny eyes. And I will also go over my eyelids with concealer. And I'm gonna bring it down my neck because I will be bronzing my neck to get them to match. Blending like a dream. It doesn't feel super thick. but it also doesn't feel like one of the thinnest formulas I've ever used. I'm just gonna like pat it in. Looks very good. Like look at it up close. Looks great. Just bring it down my neck. It's looking good. Okay, so now I'm gonna go in with my cream contour. So this is Physician Formulas. I have a full review of this, comparing it to Dibs, and look how nice it glides on. Like the first time I used it in my review, I wasn't sure if it was that blendable, but the more I use this, I'm like, it's super blendable. But here, I'm actually gonna do my nose, which I did not do before. So creamy. And I'm gonna use my BK Beauty 116 to blend this out. It just blends out so nice, so affordable, and smells so good as well. Pigmented, love it. Like look how easy that blended out, and it looks so nice. Like it's such a good shade. It's not too warm, not too cool. Looks so good. And I always like to do a little contour under my lip to give myself more of a pout. Blend it out so easy, and let's see how it does on the nose. This foundation also is looking fantastic under. That blended out like a dream on my nose. So good. Dude, I'm loving these products. This is probably gonna be my new go-to contour combo because the foundation looks great underneath, and usually sometimes foundation can move under. No movement. The packaging is super cute too. And the contour looks great. Great color, great blendability, smells good, easy application. I was gonna use the rose that comes in here, but I think I'm gonna use the L'Oreal. So this is the L'Oreal, what is this one called? Dewy Bright Pink. So I'm just gonna put the littlest amount, because this is super pigmented. This is like a dupe for Rare Beauty, honestly. And I'm gonna go in with my cream blush brush, 113 by BK Beauty. Just gonna tap it around here on my hand, and then go in here. Like look how pretty. It's like the softest, nice touch of pink blush. This is a drugstore blush. I think L'Oreal did amazing with this launch, and I have a full review as well of this cream blush. And try not to go too crazy here. I definitely want the pigment, but I always go back and clean up with some concealer. Like look at that, that's like the littlest amount. Goes such a long way. And it's affordable. All right, so actually I'm gonna put some balm on real quick. So I have the Lineage, this is new, it's their Glaze Craze in the shade Sugar Glaze. And I love this donut applicator, it is so good. Oh my gosh, I love this stuff. So hydrating. And the applicator just glides on so nice. I was not sure how I was gonna feel about the donut applicator, but it's really like the nicest thing ever. Okay, so my new obsession concealer is the Hourglass Concealer. I am late to the party, but I'm going to apply this. I like to apply a little bit here in my inner corner, like this, and then my outer corner to clean up my blush. And then sometimes I'll put some on my chin, upper lip, and then a line down my nose, and then a little bit here. So a lot, but a little bit goes a long way. And one of my favorite concealer brushes, there's one on Amazon that's the same shape that I'll have linked below, but this one is another Amazon brush set. It's the Jizz Up, and it's so good. I just love the shape of it and the way it just pats out so nice. And so I kind of like them to sit a little bit because when you let them sit, they become more pigmented. And I actually did not put this down the center, so I'm gonna try and clean this one up real quick because it is not centered. And then I'm gonna pat this one, bring it up into my temple, kind of like patting it down into the blush, cleaning it up. Then I'm going to grab the concealer and kind of pat it down, and also take whatever's on the brush and bring it on my eyelid and cover up eye veins, but I want to use a really thin layer. This is going to prep for eyeshadow and also set my dark circles and then tone down the blush. See the difference? And I'm also using tapping motions because you don't want to lift the foundation underneath. And then bring it up into my lid, covering up my eye veins. A little bit of lash glue on my lashes still from the last time, which is like, okay. So I try my best always to get the lash glue off. Sometimes you just can't, and that's okay. Tone down the cream blush a little bit, concealed my under eyes. I'm working on my nose contour here. So now I'm just gonna go back with my contour brush and just kind of rub in. Okay, so now I have a new product. This is from Catrice. I bought this on Amazon and look how small it is. Like, I was not expecting that, but it is their under eye brightener powder. So I'm gonna put some in the cap here. Comes out pink like this. And while trying not to get creases, so sometimes you'll have to take your brush and do this to not get any creases. And I'm gonna pat my thing in here, trying to look up. Pat some up on my hand here. So go like this. And then patting underneath. This is my first time using this. It's really not that pink underneath my eye, which is fine. Sometimes I don't really like the whole super bright pink under eye. I want a bright under eye, but not super bright pink. We'll see how this looks. I don't know if it's age or what, because I am 32. But I feel like my under eye wrinkles lately have been pretty bad with setting powder. So I don't want to emphasize it, but I also know that I am aging and that is life. You're gonna have wrinkles around your eyes and things are gonna crease, and there's nothing wrong with that. So just trying to remind myself that I am 30 and I am aging and it is okay. I don't really notice like a huge difference under my eyes with this powder. Like, I don't think it's anything super special. Shade Light Rose. I mean, it looks great, but you know what I'm saying? That doesn't have that like major pink shade. Like, I've been using the Huda Beauty one and that one's definitely pink. So I have here the Sigh translucent powder. I love this stuff. The only downfall is you really don't get that much product. And I'm just gonna take a big fluffy brush. This is from Flawless Beauty, I think. Formless Beauty. And then I'm going to pat all of this in. Such a good loose powder. And I always use patting motions. Like, don't you love this setting powder? It looks so good. I love this setting powder. So far, all these products have been amazing. The primer's working really well with the foundation. The foundation's looking amazing. My under eyes look pretty good. All right, so I'm gonna go with some bronzer. Milani bronzer is so good. I bought like 4 or 5 of these. It's the Sunkissed Silky Matte 02 bronzer. Obsessed. Obsessed. And I'm gonna go with my BK Beauty 110 brush. I'm gonna bronze, contour. And the blush is super pigmented. Like, do you see it shining through? And then I'm just gonna get a little bit of this and do my nose contour. And then I have my Jason Wu blushes. I love these. I even have a code. It's Makeup by Lexi J. You get 15% off Jason Wu's website. These blushes are phenomenal. I love the packaging. I should probably do like a full review of them because they are just so good. Like, look how pigmented. So good. And the blush is already crazy, so I'm trying not to make it too crazy, but you know me. I mean, it's almost spring, so the baby pink blush baby is here. It's always here though. Let's be honest. I love my nose. I love a blushy nose. And now let's do the brows. So Benefit Brow Pencil, and this is in the shade 3.5. I'm thinking about getting my brows microbladed because I feel like I don't know what to do with my brows. Like, I feel like they're shaped weird. Some parts are thicker, some parts aren't. And I just really want a professional to just come in here and like tone them. Like, tell me where they should be, how dark they should be. Because there's some pictures where I look at myself, my brows are just way too strong and I just can't figure it out. And that's okay, that's where professionals come in. So I got someone through a recommendation and they will. I've actually never got my brows done before, like ever, like waxed, any of that. I've only done it myself. They were really thin in high school, right? That's enough. I don't want them to be too strong or, you know. And then I go with my Benefit Brow Gel. This is the 24-hour brow setter. I go through phases where I like a really like aggressively strong brow gel, and sometimes I don't. I don't know. It's nice to have multiple products, that way you can mix it up. But I love how this one has a comb and I can just comb my brows in place. All right, so the brows are done. So let's do highlighter. The Dior highlighter. I'm telling you, this is so good. Like, I use this so much and it barely looks like I've touched it. It's so good. So I like to use a fan brush. I know this is like super old school, but I just go across like this and I'm just gonna touch it here. Very like 2016 of me to highlight like this, but I don't care, I love it. It gives me that glassy glow, you know? Like, just adds the perfect touch. Love it for inner corner highlight. And you get 4 of these. I use the brown one as an eyeshadow. I do use the pink one, and these two obviously I use all the time. So you get 4 of them for like $48. And unless they increase the price, I don't know. So it is like worth the money because it comes down to like $12 per thing. So now we're gonna do eyeshadow. I have all my iconic eyeshadow palettes. I have the Too Faced Born This Way. I have both my Mario palettes. I have my Natasha Denona I Need a Nude palette and my That's Taupe. So I literally like use them all, and I'm gonna try and just do the look with one of them because I don't want, I've gotten comments before, people are like saying that they can't do the tutorial because they don't own multiple eyeshadow palettes, but you can always substitute different shades. You don't have to use the exact shades I'm using. So I'm gonna go in with my iconic Sigma E35, I love this, and I'm gonna go with the shade Seashell right here. Seashell. I love this palette. This is like the palette when I first started doing YouTube that got me like the most views. So I'm just gonna warm up my crease here. This shade is definitely warm. I'm really not sure if I'm feeling the warm eyeshadow, so I might have to like dip into another eyeshadow palette because this is like too warm for me right now. I'm really liking the cooler tones. So I'm gonna go in with the Natasha Denona I Need a New palette. And I'm gonna pick up the shade. I'm gonna pick up Mesh. Mesh is down here. I'm gonna pick this one up. It's like a cool tone purple shade. And I'm gonna put this like mainly on the outside. So it's just kind of carving out a little bit of my crease here on the outer V. I really don't want to do anything super crazy. And then I'm gonna take, I think I'm gonna take this shade up here. What's this called? Travertine? That one. Travertine. And I'm gonna just like tap it all over the lid. I actually just wore this eyeshadow a couple days ago and I liked it. It looks really natural. It has like a little bit of shimmer in there. So it's not super flat, but it looks nice. Using my finger gives me more pigment and lets me have more control, but it's really up to you. So that's a very nice, soft, subtle eyeshadow look. Now I want to make my bottom lash line a little bit stronger. So I'm gonna go in with that Mesh shade, that cool tone, and I'm just gonna blend this here along my lower lash line. Mainly focusing on the outer V area. Waiting on doing a eyeshadow wing. Something's telling me do it, and it's telling me not to do it. Let's do it. So I'm gonna go in with this brown shade, which is called Stiletto. It's really dark. You see Stiletto? And I'm just gonna do a small one because I really don't want it. Dragging it up towards my outer V. Look at that. That looks actually really good. And it wasn't like super strong. I think sometimes I take it out too far, you know? So I hope I got all of that, but I didn't, so I just did the soft shadow wing, and then I'm gonna just blend it out a little bit. And then I have brown eyeliner. I'm gonna put this in my lower outer lash line. Like that, so it kind of like lifts the outer part, and then I just want to like touch this up here as well. And then you might have to take your eyeliner brush and just smear this out, because I just want this to last. I'm gonna take a small brush and I'm gonna take this highlighter shade. I'm just gonna put this right in my inner corner. Just brightens up the inner, and the outer part is lifted. So then I'm gonna take some setting spray. This is my favorite setting spray. This is the Professional Super Setter by Benefit. And then I take a little puffer and I just like puff this or pat it in. Got little like thick splotches over here, so it might make my makeup uneven now. I feel like when I notice that and I get huge gumps of setting spray or huge splotches of setting spray, it makes my makeup super uneven, so I might have to fix that. But this is what helps kind of push those powders and the foundation, everything together. Really loving the way this is looking. Bare Minerals, this is the Maximist mascara. And so first, this wand is huge. Like, look at the brush. And I was kind of freaking out when I first saw this. I'm like, I'm probably not gonna like this, but I actually do like it. It works with my lashes. But remember, everybody has different lashes, different ones are gonna work for them, because this definitely does not work for my wife. Her lashes just do not work with this. So I'm gonna put on some mascara before I put false lashes on. When this happens, just let it dry, go in with the Q-tip, and it will rub right off. See how nice it makes my lashes look like super natural and fluffy? But for my wife, it makes her lashes super clumpy, so this is different for everybody. My best advice for mascara is to find someone who has lashes like you. So mine are like thick, straight, short. If I'm applying false lashes, I do not curl my lashes because curling my lashes, I find it harder to get the band closest to my lash line. Really not a fan of this brown eyeliner. I got this in a Ipsy bag. It's Lovecraft Beauty Gel Liner. I feel like it doesn't last very long. But I mean, I'm still using it, but I want to try the Tower 28 one because I've seen some people use it and it looks really good. So I'm gonna let these two black chunks dry and then I'm gonna rub it off with a Q-tip. See, this is why you're gonna let it dry. Look. Oop, gone. The other one's gone too. So amazing, such a good. The lashes dry, and then I'm gonna put on my Ardel Demi Wispy Lashes. All right, so now it's time for lips. I'm gonna go with my favorite lip liners. This is the Makeup Forever, and this is in the shade Anywhere Caffeine. This is like the best lip liner ever. It's not too brown, not too pink, it's not too cool, not too warm. It's the perfect shade. Now I'm debating between Pillow Talk Fair. I love this lipstick, it's the mini. And one of my favorites, this is Merit Classic. I think I'm gonna go with Merit Classic. It is like the prettiest rose nude shade, I love it. Top this off with the new L'Oreal. This is the Plump Ambition Hyaluron lip oil in the shade Milky Nude. It really is. The applicator is amazing. The packaging is amazing. Plumps, it's lightweight. It's amazing. I'm only gonna put this in the center. Love, I kind of ruined the applicator, but love this lip gloss. So here's the close-up. It is more of a subtly soft glam eye look, a baby pink blush, and a rosy lip. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you in my next video.